श्री स्वामीनारायण भगवाननी
जय।
अक्षर पुरुषोत्तम महाराजनी
जय।
गुणातीतानंद स्वामी महाराजनी
जय।
भगत जी महाराजनी
जय।
शास्त्री जी महाराजनी
जय।
योगी जी महाराजनी
जय।
प्रमुख स्वामी महाराजनी
जय।
महंत स्वामी महाराजनी
जय।
प्रमुख स्वामी महाराज शताब्दी महोत्सवनी
जय।
अक्षरधाम महोत्सवनी
जय। जय स्वामीनारायण श्रीखंड भाई. I mean, Sharad bhai.
Shikhand? Huh?
Yeah, sorry about that. I think it's because I'm kinda hungry right now.
Yeah, what's new?
Speaking of new, I just learned how to make rotli with my family. I even took a picture of this masterpiece. Here, take a look.
A for effort? But the important part is that you learned a new skill with the help of your family. And with Sump.
Of course. With the amount of time that we're spending at home right now, this is the perfect chance to increase Sump with our family. Baliks and Balikas, do you guys know of any other ways that we can increase Sump within our families?
Yes, by doing Aarti together. Sahil bhai from Milwaukee, what's another way? Good job, by eating together. One more. Exactly, I was thinking the same thing. Ghar Sabha. Ghar Sabha is one way that we can strengthen unity in our families.
So today, we're going to spend some time learning about what it means to do Ghar Sabha.
Especially in times like these, we see the importance of spending time with our families. From their care and support, we continuously grow in our satsang journey. Now, everyone take a close look. If you peek outside that window, you'll see we virtually traveled to the Midwest's beautiful Shikharbad Mandir in Chicago. So today, we are going to invite Puja Uttam Shlok Swami to speak about the importance of Ghar Sabha with our family.
Puja Uttam Shlok Swami was born and brought up in Houston. He studied computer engineering and IT just before becoming a sadhu. He received Diksha in 2005 at the grand opening of Delhi Akshardham. After his training was completed, he was placed in the Midwest region as a Puja BK Vicharan Sant.
But before we get started, we want to introduce a new segment to our Sabha, Bhakti Mail. In this segment, we will read questions about the topic of this week asked by you all from the previous week. We had some really great questions, so we are going to share two that were asked by many of you. The first question is, what is the importance of Ghar Sabha? The second question we received is, how can we do Ghar Sabha the right way while making it fun?
To help us answer some of these questions, we're going to ask Puja Uttam Shlok Swami for some help. So let's get ready, Baliks and Balikas. Today's presentation is going to be a fun one.
कृपा करो मुझ ऊपरे सुख निधि सहजानंद गुण तमारा गाववा बुद्धि आप जो सुख कंद गुण तमारा गाववा बुद्धि आप जो सुख कंद. I want everybody to join in this Jainad. Shri Swaminarayan Bhagwanani जय. अक्षर पुरुषोत्तम महाराजनी जय. गुणातीतानंद स्वामी महाराजनी जय. भगत जी महाराजनी जय. शास्त्री जी महाराजनी जय. योगी जी महाराजनी जय. प्रमुख स्वामी महाराजनी जय. महंत स्वामी महाराजनी जय. प्रमुख स्वामी महाराज शताब्दी महोत्सवनी जय. अक्षरधाम महोत्सवनी जय. Very good. So I want to start off this Ghar Sabha with a small game. On your screen, you will see two houses. I want you to see if you can tell the differences between both. Again, you have 10 seconds to pick them out. Ready? 3, 2, 1, go. How many differences were there? How many? That's right. There were only 3 differences. If you didn't get a chance to see all the differences, no problem. You'll get another chance. Okay? But this time it's going to get a little bit harder, but you'll get more time. You'll get about 15 seconds. You guys ready? 3, 2, 1, go. Did you guys spot all the differences? How many were there this time? That's right, there were 6 differences. They're on your screen, they're all circled. Okay. Now we're going to try this one more time. See if you can spot the differences. This time you have 10 seconds. Ready? 3, 2, 1, go. So how many differences were there? That's right, there were 2 differences. But on one side, it was labeled as house. On the other side, it was labeled as home. What are the differences though? Both have walls, both have a roof, windows, a door. What are the differences? Aren't they the same? In the first house, everybody's sitting separate, they're doing their own thing. And the second house, everybody's sitting together. That's a big difference. Why is that? Well, a house becomes a home when it's full of love and comfort. See, a home is where our family connects together. When we feel happy, sad, excited, or mad, we go to our family for love and comfort. Who's in our house? Well, our parents. What do they do for us? They feed us, they take care of us, they help us with our homework, many things. What about all the other siblings? They're always there for us. That's why we should respect each other. How can all these things happen? Well, what's the one thing Mahant Swami Maharaj talks about all the time? What's that? Those are some great guesses. But you know what? Let's ask Mahant Swami Maharaj himself.
શું ગમે છે? જો મને ગમે છે, કેપિટલ SAMP.
So what does Mahant Swami Maharaj like? That's right, capital SAMP. Sump. What is sump? Sump is unity. But what does unity or sump have to do with family? Well, I think it's time for a story.
Once upon a time, in a jungle far, far away, on a huge banyan tree, there lived a bird. A kabutar, in fact. Kirtan the kabutar. One Sunday morning, Kirtan woke up and stretched his little kabutar wings. Kirtan was a small bird, but he had a big appetite. And this morning, he was really, really hungry. He went to his parents, who told him and all his brothers and sisters to quickly get ready so they could go find the tastiest, crunchiest, most scrumptious seeds in the forest. One morning, they went soaring above the canopy of the forest in search for food. Can you show me how the birds were flying? Flap your arms just like the birds. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Flap, 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 flap. Just like that, they flew for miles and miles, and now it was becoming time for lunch. There were no seeds to be found anywhere. Poor Kirtan was becoming tired. His little wings were all flapped out. He couldn't keep flying even a second longer if he didn't get something to eat. All the birds heard his stomach growling. In that moment, one of the doves found an opening in the forest. All kinds of scrumptious seeds were scattered on the jungle floor. Kirtan and the rest of the dove family were overjoyed. Finally, what they had been searching for, before the eldest bird could even say a peep, the whole family landed on the ground and began gobbling up all the seeds in their beaks. The birds did not realize it, but they were not alone. A mean hunter was also in the jungle looking for different animals to capture. The family did not even see him. They continued to munch on their seeds when all of a sudden a dark figure appeared before them, and without waiting another second, the hunter threw a net. It was a trap. The whole family was trapped in the net. A hunter came out of hiding from behind the nearby tree and started roaring in a mean laugh. The birds started screeching and flying in different directions. Just then, the elder bird had an idea. "Silence," he said. All of the birds turned and looked to their leader. He had never steered them wrong, so they knew only he could get them out of this trap. He told everybody in the family to flap their wings together and fly up at the same time. Are all of you ready to flap your wings just like the birds? Flap them as hard as you can on the count of 3. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Flap, 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 flap. Wait, the birds aren't going up. Everybody is not flapping their wings together. Let's try again. On the count of 3. Everybody, and I mean everybody, flap your wings together. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Flap, 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 flap. The birds flew higher and higher and higher, lifting the net together higher, 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 until finally they were free. And just like that, they worked together and escaped the net. The hunter just stood watching in anger and amazement. He had never seen anything like this happen before. Kirtan thought that the family escaped because of the elder bird's idea. But that wasn't true. The reason the birds all survived this attack was because they all flew together as a family and used sump to free themselves. Remember, sump begins at home.
How awesome was that story? What are some of the things that the birds did? Well, they talked with each other, they worked with each other. Most importantly, they respected and trusted one another. Did you notice that they were able to do it so easily? That's because they practiced ahead of time, and because of that, they got out of a big problem. Our gurus have provided us with a special tool to start sump within our family. That special tool is called Ghar Sabha. What is Ghar Sabha? You know what? Let's ask someone that we really trust. Who do we trust? I know. Let's ask our Guru Pramukh Sai Maharaj about what Ghar Sabha is.
ઘર સભામાં બેસવાથી કંઈક આપણે વાત સાંભળવા થકી એમના મનને કંઈ પ્રશ્નો હોય પણ નિરાકરણ થયા અને બેસીને કંઈ વાત કરવાથી પણ નિરાકરણ થઈ જાય છે. એટલે ભેગા બેસવાથી ભેગા જમવાથી પણ એક આપણી કુટુંબ ભાવનાઓ એક રહે.
પહેલું સ્કૂલ તો આપણી ઘરની છે એટલે આપણે ઘર સભાની વાત કરી કે ઘરમાં બેસીને ભેગા બેસીને પોતે આ પ્રમાણે ભજન થાય કીર્તન થાય તો છોકરા બેસે તો એને પણ સંસ્કાર મળે.
So Pramukh Sai Maharaj used to say that a family that eats together, plays together, prays together, stays together. Ghar Sabha is when all the members of the family come together. They spend quality time with each other. They go further in satsang. And they have fun. With Ghar Sabha, everybody starts to respect each other. We start to respect our parents. Everybody helps each other out. And everybody starts to understand one another by talking with each other. Now that we've realized the benefits of doing Ghar Sabha, let's get right into how to do Ghar Sabha. Ghar Sabha happens once a week, where all the members of the family come together, they sit together. This Ghar Sabha happens for about 15 to 20 minutes only. It starts off with doing dhun, prarthana, saying a prasang, discussing what you liked about that prasang, then talking to everybody about your day, and finally an activity or game to end Ghar Sabha. See, that wasn't hard, was it? Now that we know how to do Ghar Sabha, what are some ways that we can be a part of this Ghar Sabha? Because we don't like to be bored, do we? This could be your mission. There are 3 things that you need to do. 1 is to be ready. 2nd is to participate. And 3rd, have fun. So first, we have to be ready, meaning we have to prepare for this Ghar Sabha. So find out what's a good day for everybody to do this Ghar Sabha. Typically, Wednesdays work the best for everybody. Then choose a time. Sometimes right after Sandhya Aarti or the evening Aarti works best for everybody. It could be after dinner. You guys choose. And then choose a location. A lot of people do it in front of the Ghar Mandir, but some people also do it in their living room or a place where everybody can sit together. Remember, we have to be ready as well too. When it's Ghar Sabha time, our parents don't have to call us to come to do Ghar Sabha. Secondly, we should participate in our Ghar Sabha. While preparing, you can assign dhun and prarthana to a member of your family, or you can sing it, or you can even play tabla, you can even play harmonium, or keyboard piano, or the trumpet, or flute, or violin, or any instrument you know how to play. But remember, you have to practice. Now, the 3rd thing we should do is have fun in our Ghar Sabha. If you're a younger barak, you can play games such as Duck Duck Goose, Pictionary, Guess That Kirtan. If you're an older barak, play games that you like, charades, any board games, the guess what game. You plan out your Ghar Sabha. That's all. So let's summarize what we learned today. We learned the differences between a house and a home. We learned through Mahant Swami Maharaj, then in order for a house to become a home, we have to keep samp with our family. Samp begins at home. And then we saw a story of the family of doves that kept samp. So to develop that samp within our family, Pramukh Swami Maharaj said to do this one big thing, and that is to do Ghar Sabha. We trust Pramukh Swami Maharaj. So when he tells us to do Ghar Sabha, we should try and do it once a week with our entire family. We also learned the benefits of doing Ghar Sabha. We also learned how to do Ghar Sabha. And lastly, we learned what we need to do in that Ghar Sabha, which is to be ready, to participate, and to have fun. When we do these things, we can make our house a home. So let's pray to Maharaj and Swami and promise him that we will do Ghar Sabha once a week and participate with our entire family. Remember, we want to make Mahant Swami Maharaj Raji, we want to keep samp, and we want to turn our house into a home. Because remember, samp begins at home.
We just learned about the importance of Ghar Sabha and how we can all be a part of the Ghar Sabhas in our homes. Many balaks and balikas have gone above and beyond in their Ghar Sabhas, and today we have the chance to take inspiration from just a few of those balaks and balikas. The first example is that of Dharmabai Chauhan from Columbus, Ohio. Every week, Dharmabhai tries to write a Ghar Sabha to-do list in Gujarati with the help of his dad before Ghar Sabha. One time, Dharmabhai's family was out of town looking for a new home. He saw the clock in their car and reminded his family that it was Ghar Sabha time. His family was confused on how to do Ghar Sabha since they were traveling in a car. But Dharmabhai reminded them that it is Swami Shri's Agna, and instead of doing Ghar Sabha, they can do Gadi Sabha. Like this, Dharmabhai makes sure to follow Swami Shri's wish of doing Ghar Sabha, no matter where they are. Another example of our balaks comes from a family in Cleveland, Ohio. Two families live together with 4 children, their parents and grandparents. The 4 children, Darshanbhai, Dharmeshbhai, Haribhai, and Jaybhai, all do Ghar Sabha with their family twice a week. One time, they follow the given syllabus, and the other time, the Ghar Sabha is up to the kids' preference. Like this, the families build sump with one another. Just like our balaks, there are also many balikas across North America who participate in their Ghar Sabhas as well. Swamini Ben is a Shishu Balika who attends Ghar Sabha at her home, where she has learned how to sing kirtans as well as reading and writing in Gujarati. At this time, both of her parents are respiratory therapists treating COVID-19 patients. Although their lives are very busy, Ghar Sabha happens without fail with their children, Swamini Ben and Shriji Bhai. The final example we see is that of Shreya Ben from Munster, Indiana. When Shreya Ben was 7 years old, she learned about Ghar Sabha in Balika Sabha and wanted to start with her family. Although her parents were hesitant at first, she convinced them that Ghar Sabha is important to do with the entire family. Before Ghar Sabha, Shreya Ben would create a cue sheet for Ghar Sabha and assign dhun, prarthna, kirtan, and prasangs to each family member. During Ghar Sabha, she would play her keyboard during dhun and prarthna and lead the entire Ghar Sabha. Because of her efforts, her entire family is able to do satsang together. Currently, Shreya Ben is 14 years old and her family to this day connects with one another through their Ghar Sabha. From these prasangs, we can see that so many balaks and balikas across North America are following Swami Shri's Agna of doing Ghar Sabha. Through this, they are building sump with their families and gaining Swami Shri's Rajipo.
Hey, I've been thinking, after all this is over, we should go on a hike. I've made a list of things to bring. Trail mix, walking sticks, sunglasses, backpacks, and water bottles. Yeah, I think I got it all.
Wait. You forgot the most important thing.
Oh yeah, my mom's freshly made tikki bakri.
No, I'm talking about a map.
Oh right, duh, how could I have forgotten that? Haha, sorry.
It's okay, I know how you feel. But you have given me an idea. I think of Ghar Sabha as a map. And I know it's kind of odd to relate them, but think about it this way. A map is important to know our journey from start to finish. In the same way, one map in satsang is Ghar Sabha. It guides us on where we are going. So if we're headed in the wrong or right direction, spending time with our families in Ghar Sabha helps us realize that.
Yeah, makes sense. Ghar Sabha is an important tool that we can use to help us build sump. As we learned from Puja Uttam Shlok Swami, during Ghar Sabha, we can do satsang reading, sing bhajans, play satsang games, and so much more as a family. As Pramukh Swami Maharaj used to say, Sab dardo ki ek dawa, Ghar Sabha, or the one solution to all problems is Ghar Sabha.
Today's Sabha showed us that regular Ghar Sabha keeps all of our problems away because it helps us form family unity. And as we keep learning new skills, it's important to share our experiences with our family in Ghar Sabha. Swami Shri has given us this roadmap to Rajipo, and now that we know the importance of that map, it's key that we head on the right direction on our satsang journey, the journey to Rajipo.
Last week, we also had our weekly Bhakti challenge, where we created poems about what Akshara means to us. Let's take a look at a few of those submissions. Till next week, aap sone, જય સ્વામિનારાયણ.
ઘરની અંદર પણ એવી એક જાતની પ્રણાલિકા પાડવી જોઈએ કે બધા એક સાથે બેસી અને મૌન રાખી ભગવાનની ધૂન કરો, પ્રાર્થના કરો, તો ઘર સારું થશે, સંસાર સારો થશે.
બાપાની આજ્ઞા છે એવી રીતે અંદર ડૂબકી મારે ઘર સભામાં તો પછી સુંદર પરિણામ આવતું હોય છે. બ્રેક ધ શેલ, ઓલું આપણે તૂટી ગયું ને દિવાલ અને અંદર પ્રવેશ થઈ ગયું પછી વાંધો ના આવે.